Welcome to this Monday night, and I am Candace Frazier, your regional sales manager. We have our wonderful broker owner, Rochelle Wilhite, and we also have Virginia Everard, our coach as well. Uh, I do want to introduce Brian Eck with UQUAL, and this is loan readiness. So, you guys, I've worked with Brian and some of the people on his team actually for many years. Um, Real estate changed a little bit, and I wasn't working with them, but right now I feel that it's time to have a team like this, potentially with your lender or for your buyers. So wanting to get on the other side of all these listings and get some buyers into homes. So we have Brian here to share some information that would be helpful to you and your business.
Well, thank you for the intro, Candace. And it's always been a pleasure working with you. It's my pleasure to be here, gang. I was actually saying to the folks in the chat before we started how much I thoroughly enjoy being able to help, whether it's, I say referral partners, but our realtors, our LO partners, people who are helping change people's lives out there. And that's what you all do. And we take it as a sincere responsibility. And I even see it one further of like, I get to help people grow their numbers, which changes your life and your family's life and all that kind of stuff. Like I live this, I'm at home, I've been at work for 11 hours today, and you guys are my last thing. So you're gonna get all the last of my energy. The one thing I always throw out there before I start jumping into the slides and all that fun stuff is, though I'm sure everyone's probably muted, the chat, if someone wants to watch that, if there's questions as we go, I don't mind being interrupted. I can answer as we go, and I'll fly through this because I know it is 30 minutes or like 27 minutes, not that I'm counting. So I got a lot to get through, but please feel free to jump in with those questions when you have them. And whether it's Candace, Virginia, anyone want to let me know when you see them because I won't be able to see. And I'll go ahead and share. So thank you. As Candace was saying, we are a loan readiness company. And people always ask, what's that mean? Because it's not something that you've probably heard before unless you've seen me before. Loan readiness is the current version, the new adaptation, the evolution of what credit repair was. I came from a company, I've done this for 10 years, 2 months and 28 days, excuse me, my math is off, it's late. And a lot of my earlier time in this industry was working at a credit repair company, taking clients that were a 540 that were sent to us by a lender or a realtor, working our tails off, helping them do what they need to do and providing tools to get them up to a 620 so we could send them back on over so they could get their house. The kicker was, it's not just credit to get a house, obviously. It's debt to income, it's down payment savings, it's document preparation, all the different things. And even that's a microcosm, but I can't help with everything. To where we said, and I say we, sincerely meaning that, the ownership of the company I was working with and a whole bunch of the general managers and us got together and said, hey, how could we make this better? And UQUAL is what was born. We've all been in the industry a long time, and we know the pain points that you all deal with. So you're like, here, not only the pain points, but the solutions that we've helped provide. And it's really a client tool that's going to help empower your people to get where they are. So that is what loan readiness is. Now let's talk about what's actually in there. And my job, and you can tell, it's mostly LOs I present to. So it says close more loans, but I'll help people buy more houses too. It's part of the process. The way that we do that is looking at, as I mentioned, the totality of the picture. It's what we call our loan readiness score. Our loan readiness score is a breakdown of 4 different, what we call pillars of getting loan ready, which is credit, which I'll talk about in a moment, debt to income, down payment, and document preparation. We have a fintech mortgage-centric platform that we built that is powered by AI that pushes the client and all of the things that they're going to need, along with actual human coaching here in Denver, Colorado, go Broncos, that will help propel the clients where they need to be. So just before I get too far, I can't see anyone. Back in the day when I would travel, I'd say, who uses AI? And there would be like 1 or 2 hands that might pop up. Now I have to ask, who doesn't? Rochelle, like I have to, like, just to get all their hands down. We also have AI built into our program. So your clients, in addition to all the tools that they have a partner. Her name is Alex. We had to name her because she interacts. She is going to be your client's cheerleader, your client's coach, someone that's going to soften the blows when bad things happen, someone that's going to help boost them up when they're making progress. We put so many millions of dollars into building all of this out to make it the whole product that it is today for clients to be able to use, okay? First thing I always like to jump into is the money section, because people always think of us as credit repair. So I start with the one thing that we never did when I was in that industry, to start on the opposite side of the spectrum, which is helping clients manage their money. A lot of people here in your bank accounts on your phones, you have budget apps from Chase, Wells Fargo. People have probably heard of Rocket Money, used to be called Truebill. We took all of the best ideas out of those different platforms and put them all into one, all about mortgage. And unlike with Chase, who's saying, hey, get a mortgage with Chase, or Credit Karma, who's telling your client to get a new car 3 weeks before closing, which obviously they shouldn't, ours is all pushing towards this one goal of getting into the home, getting into the home, getting into the home. So when a client signs on with us, this is what they see when they link up their bank accounts. The right-hand side, how much of a house, the down payment needed, we get that from the referral partner. Everything on the left-hand side, though, their total available cash, actually comes from their actual bank accounts. They link up with us with a system just like Plaid, if anyone's ever heard of that, and it connects their accounts with our system, platform, and AI. It's secure, it's private, so only the clients and the AI can see it. It's not something we really go over a ton until they share it with us. But this is where we can start helping clients understand where their money is going, why they can't pay down their credit cards, why they're having a hard time saving for a down payment. It's really hard to do that when you're spending $400 a month on Uber Eats. If we could cut that down to $100 and you drive to Subway, which I am a dad. My wife is getting on with my son right now. I knew that was going to happen. I thought I should have put him outside. He'll be quiet in a second. It's easy sometimes to spend money through convenience. I think that's the number one thing that people spend money through. And getting in front of your clients and creating a form of accountability, both with the coaches and the AI going through their budget, we actually help them come up with a budget. This is something a lot of American families don't have. They wonder why they're check to check, but they also don't put any planning into what they need to be doing to get away from that. So whether it's pet expenses, eating out, where they're putting their money matters, especially when they have a massive gargantuan goal, which is getting into the home. All of this is done on a constant live basis. It's not something they have to refresh every time they log in. This is all presented to them. And Alex is harping on them politely, respectfully. She's really pleasant. We programmed her, but making sure it's like when they see the Starbucks expenditure start to go up, Alex will pop up and say, hey, Rochelle, did you know that you're over your budget for Starbucks? The budget screen, not to flash back. I don't know how to do it. Sorry. That's a red light, green light, yellow light approach. These are all green because the client is killing the game, as the kids would say. If it's my golf, and it's funny, my family just walked in, my golf in the golf season, my wife would say is the size of a red one. I think it's more of a yellow, but it's all based off the budget that they put in for themselves. Without knowing the roads to get where you need to go, it's very hard to get there. This provides the clients with an actual map on what they need to do and how they can actually move in the right direction. Family home. Next section, we're gonna go over the credit. This is used, and I'm gonna pause before I get to the credit section. The credit section is used for about 95, 98% of the clients. Every client uses the credit section in some way, shape, or form. Whether they're using the monitoring tools, the disputing platform I'm about to go over, the monthly reports, there's all these different cool tools. The budget section I just went over, gang, it's only like 60% of my clients right now are using that to the fullest of its capabilities. I'll give like 10, 15% to like privacy and people on their money. I get that, I guess, kind of. I'm a professional and it's all that, but whatever. A big chunk of like the other 20, 25% that don't use it is because when their referral partner sends them on over, they call us credit repair. You'll hear me say loan readiness. I think I said 12 times in the first like 90 seconds, because I want the clients to see the whole thing and not only use one part of our tools, okay? So when referring people over, I only say that because it's really important. I'll go over that at the very end on like best practices and stuff. Making sure that referring to us as loan readiness, they're gonna help you get a plan together for your budget. They're gonna help you put together a plan for your credit. If you want to get a house, I don't believe in saying no. That's the cool thing about Best Choice Realty. We're not going to, I know the lender said you can't qualify today, but it's not a no, it's a not yet. I have a plan for this because this is what I'm here for. It's the whole message, so they get the whole buy-in, so they use the whole program, so they get the whole benefit. I have fun with words. Now that I've said all that though, let's get into the credit section. Credit section is very straightforward. It's very intuitive for the clients to be able to use. It's three big parts of it. The credit report, which is a monthly tri-merge credit report, actually looks just like this. This is actually a copy, not a copy, but a mock-up of a client. This is someone's credit report right here. A mock-up of a credit report as the client sees it. The scores, for those who can see, I'm not sure, phones versus computers, we use a Vantage 3.0 algorithm. 3.0 and Vantage is different than the FICO 2, 4, and 5. I say that right now, and I'll say it to your clients, and I say it the first time buyer events that I do, and we say it to the clients on the updates. The clients will always hear I have a 677, not always, but often will hear I have a 677. They might call you before you ever send them to a lender or spend your precious Saturday morning home shopping. You call your UQUAL partner to say, hey, where's their real score at? We can look at this report and say, based off their length of credit, which is 15% of their scores, and based off their debt utilization, which is 30% of their scores, and how many deletions they've had in the first 60 days, they're a 640. If Steve at Fairway or whoever you work with said 620 is all they need, I think this last couple of deletions that they got over the last 3 weeks, they're there. Go house shop and send them to Steve. Or, hey, they're nowhere near where they need to be. Let us call your client and you get your Saturday morning back. Communication closes loans and sells homes. So you'll have a partner here to help you with all that, just so you know. But I say it because you'll get excited clients that will call you. It's a guarantee. There's a really cool simulator that I do like to stop on here real quick. This is just client facing, but if you all can zoom in, I don't want to touch my screen because then I'll mess up my slides. But if you can on your screen, you'll see what happens to my account if I get a new credit card? What happens to my account if I get a new auto loan? What happens to my account if I go late on an account, if I max out my credit cards? Everyone here has had a client show up to a closing talking about all the brand new furniture they just financed, or they've shown up in a new automobile. And I always say, like, unless Oprah gave them the car, it's not okay. You know, like that's just, this just got complicated and it got really real. All of the advice from Alex to the simulator is always like, even the things that we present to them first off and foremost is all the things we don't want them to do. So if they click on that button, they see the 677 turn into like a 595 and they know not to do it. Clients left to their own devices can be a scary thing sometimes. So whether it's on the phone with the coaches or even in the program with Alex in the simulator, it's once again all steering towards that one goal. The credit report's one big tool. The coaches that the clients speak with on a monthly basis is another really, really huge tool that we have that is, I feel, makes us different than any other fintech out there because we still believe in having people, flesh and blood around to actually help with. So they talk to people on a monthly basis. The third tool, which is the one I have in front of you, is the digital disputing platform. And I do see there's a question in the chat, Jamie. I got you. Is the digital disputing tool, which is where clients can use a federal law called the Fair Credit Reporting Act to challenge any questionable accounts that are on their credit report, whether it's collections, late pays, charge-off credit cards, too many inquiries, whatever it may be that's impacting them. It's based off the federal law. We have a digital integration with all three of the credit bureaus to where when a client launches these disputes, it starts a 30-day time frame. At the end of the 30-day time frame, if Midland funding or enhanced recovery or the late on their chase doesn't get responded to, or whatever it is, if it's not a 100% accurate, complete, and verifiable answer in that 30-day time frame, then it has to come off the credit report as if it didn't exist in the first place. Do clients win on every single dispute, every single round? No, I would charge a lot more, but that's just not real. It's a game of cat and mouse. There are some accounts that are harder, some accounts that are historically easier, but can still be tough. I was gonna say tough and difficult as one word, which doesn't come out right. Jamie had a question though. I'm gonna stop because I got to the end of that point on the digital disputing platform. Does UQUAL primarily just help with credit repair? In other words, do you work side by side with a variety of lenders or have I love this question, or have exclusive in-house referral lenders? That's a really, really good question. So I work with everyone in the nation when it comes, well, not everyone, like Chase Bank and Wells Fargo doesn't work with me, but every institution when it comes to lending, whether retail or consumer direct type call center places, realtors, those are the folks where we get our clients. And to make sure I answer the question 100%, My fidelity or loyalty is to the referral partner who sent me that client. I will die on the mountain or move the mountain or whatever the phrase is to get your clients back to you through monthly updates, through teamwork, and through just giving them tools and kind of babysitting and pushing them along. I don't have in-house referral partner or lenders because my referral partners are my in-house lenders, if that makes sense. Now, do I have realtors from time to time that say, hey, my main lender can't take care of this client. Do you have anyone else that you might be able to turn me on to? Yeah, I got CEO phone numbers on this bad boy right here. I've done this for a decade. So your client, my loyalty is to you folks. I hope that answers the question. And then Patricia, just while I'm in the chat, because I have fun. I had a client buy a new car as his old one was completely unrepairable. We put the car in his adult daughter's name, which he could buy from her after closing. That's smooth. That's a smooth way to do it. There's times and places where you can get around on things like that. And I don't know if anyone's familiar with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but I'm like boxes of Pepe on all the different things I can come up with creative solutions, because I can't let walls, and I'm not a fix-all, but we do the best we can to not let walls get between the client and the goal. And sometimes that takes creative solutions like that. So I like it, Patricia. On the disputing platform, before I go to the next section, this is something that the clients monitor on a monthly basis when they're speaking with us. And Alex, when they log in on the phone, will tell them, because I'm a cheeseball, it's like, huzzah, you've had improvement through your deletions. And it will show them what came off. When a referral partner logs in, they see on their clients corrections, what's been removed on your own portal, so you can see on your clients what's going on. We call on these disputes to say, hey, this is what's going on, client or LO or realtor. When we call you and say, hey, Patricia, Miss Anderson, your client, Becky, has absolutely killed it over the last 60 days of being with us. She set up her credit cards because she didn't have any and she needed them. They're 30% of her score. She's had good deletions. And she got her student loans on time, because like 9.3 million Americans went delinquent earlier this year. It was really, really sad to see. She's killing the game. Is she ready to go house shopping? No. But I would suggest give her a buzz and give her a high five through the phone. Say, hey, I'm still part of the process. I just got the update from UQUAL and you're doing great. That little bit of interaction goes miles and miles to making sure that remains your client, because that's what this is all about at the end, is making sure you're the one who, gets to take the picture with them standing outside the house or whatever that is. I'm in Colorado. I don't get to be part of the pictures. Okay. The other part, and I am flying quickly. I realize I'm doing okay. There's a document prep locker. I mentioned about 95, 98% of your clients are going to use the credit tools. 60-ish% of the clients are going to use the budget tools. It's like 35, 40% on this one, but I don't get too mad on this one. The budget one, I don't get mad, but I'm passionate about. The document ones, just to make it where you guys don't have to chase people for pieces of paper. You shouldn't have to be worried about someone getting their pay stubs in or their bank statements. We collect it as they get to that part of the process when they're super engaged, if you guys haven't already or the lender hasn't. And it's so when, like I said, Becky a second ago is ready for Patricia. She's got a ton of these, if not all of them. We don't start harping on this until it's near the point it makes sense. If it's going to be a 7-month file, because Becky has a really tough file, you don't need her bank statements from back then for the loan. It's going to be the more recent ones and all that kind of stuff, or pay stubs and all that stuff. We also have identity theft protection, and this is just, I'd say superfluous, as an extra, but I think they're really crucial and needed, but they're not as used as some of the other tools. A lot of people here don't know what the dark web is. I think it's crazy, the stuff that you can find out when you're taught these things. And I have a wife who does cybersecurity, so I'm probably more paranoid than a lot of people. We have identity theft protection, dark web monitoring for the clients. It's just to help keep them safe while they're going through the lending process. There's a learning center and you can tell by me demanding to do this over the other people who would have at my company because I was going to be here. I love the education piece. People don't teach this stuff in school. People don't learn this stuff unless they have someone to teach it to them. It's like the rich dad, poor dad type thing. And it's hard to learn habits that you were never taught, right? So one of the big things I speak about, I'm actually in Oklahoma, the 10th to the 14th of next month on the road for first-time buyer events. Our learning center is one of our coolest pieces because it's at the client's speed, but we push this a lot when they call in with questions and say, hey, I don't have you log in because I want you to get familiar with this. And this is how you would have found that, because I want them to learn everything they can. Because ideally, once a client's done with me, I never see them again. Like, you should get repeat business. That's like, you should do that. It's awesome. But when they come back to me, it's like going to the dentist with a cavity and then coming back, not having brushed my teeth on Halloween and having the candy still in there. Like, I'm setting myself up for failure. So the teaching that your client should receive, the monthly phone calls, the interaction with our coaches and the AI and everything, especially the people here in Colorado, it's one of the biggest things, because we're going to, at times, it's going to be softening a loss. The client had new late pays, the client had new charge-offs, the client had, well, hopefully not charge-offs, but they had a bump in the road. Our coaches are going to be there to say, hey, it's okay. Things happen. What do we do next? Because it's not all, is it lollipops and butterflies or whatever? There's ups, there's downs. The coaches here are a big part of that. Okay. The last thing I'll show you, this is what y'all's portal looks like. And I say for now because next Monday, I start the launch of my new portal. So this is what it looks like for about the next week. We've put a ton of work in this over the last 12 months. So it's going to be a little bit different, but all of these same key pieces will be there. When a referral partner is working with us, they have a portal link that is unique to them. You won't give it to clients. You won't give it to other team members. It's just yours. You'll have your own username, password, your email. It's how you submit clients. It's how you track their progress. It's how you can request updates. It's how you can add an LO to the file if you want them CC'd on the emails while we're reaching out to find out what the loan specifications or guidelines are for dispute verbiage or whatever it is. This is your interaction with us outside of someone like myself, just like the coaches have someone. Every referral partner has a single point of contact that works for and with them. Okay. This portal link will show you their loan readiness score. And I can't do it, but when you have clients in there, it's really cool because when you hover over the 74, it'll actually box out and it will show how many documents they have. It'll show how much cash for down payment, what their debt to income is, and what the score we see right now is. You'll always be able to see that. So if a client calls you Friday night at 10 o'clock, I'm a workaholic, but that's too late. Okay, just set the boundaries. But you can log into your phone, look at the client and see their loan readiness score of 14 and be like, no, I'm not going house shopping tomorrow. Whereas if they're over an 85, they're about ready to be back. They're within the final 30 to like 60 days unless something goes awry. Outside of being able to track and be able to update and request updates and all that jazz, it's also one of my favorite ways for people to submit clients to us. There's two ways to really get clients over, either a direct email to your direct point of contact with or without the client CC'd. Hey, this is Becky. She's trying to buy a house. The lender sent her back. Or, hey, this is Becky. She's trying to buy a house, but she said she has a 510 on Credit Karma and wants to know what to do. Cool. Good job doing discovery. Let's get her set up. We reach out for a free consultation. I'll talk about that in a second. But outside of that email of, hey, here's Becky, or hey, everyone, Becky, meet Brian, Brian, meet Becky, however you want to put the email together. I have fun with them. The submit lead button that's right in front of you is the other way to get on over. It will ask you a question. Do you want to submit a lead or do you want to submit a quick qual? Quick qual is the synopsis you have. And even though this is more lender facing, like I actually like that it's still part of my thing. My job, and I said a second ago, I'm going to stop the share for half a second. Boom, it's Halloween. Have fun. My job is to help you guys and gals close more deals, get more clients to the finish line as quickly as possible. The quick call, or quick qual, because I can talk, I promise, is when a lender gets a decline and it's within like 25, 30 points. We don't want that client sent on over to work with us. We want to be able to review the file with the lender to say, how can we come up with the 25, 30 points? I am not just way funnier than a simulator or rapid rescore tool that most lenders use. I've got boxes of Pepe knowledge. So I'm able to get really creative with the solutions like Patricia was mentioning before, but in a credit facing section. And it's going to be client facing direction. It's a free service that, and I explain this, even though I know y'all don't pull credit, that's okay. You deal with the people who pull your client's credit. And if they come in like, oh, it was a 595, I need a 620, can't get it. Candace, I'm sorry. It's on, clients probably only need 2-3 months. It's just nothing I can do. Get the lender on the phone with your single point of contact here. And we go over the credit report with them. I can do it literally with my eyes closed, asking questions because I've done this for so long. I'm the guy who does the training at my company of everyone who works in my company to give them all the same knowledge and base to be able to say, hey, the client doesn't need to sign up. What the client needs to do is a pay for delete on these 2 collections. Now, I know you want to say this collection, but they actually don't do pay for leads. And it happened back in 2020. These two are from 2024, so on and so forth. It's cheaper than paying off the credit cards, which is what the simulator told them to do. And it's quicker for the client to obtain. So do you want to call the client, Candace? Do you want the lender to call the client? Do you want me to call the client, walk them through the homework that they have now? Because I'll do it even though the client's not signing up with us, because I need to make sure they do it right. Otherwise it won't work. If it's really simple, we'll just give it to you. Call the client, look like a rock star. If I can do that and the client closes, gets to buy a house and moves forward, do I think the client that I just barely got over the hump to a 620 should still sign up for improving their credit and getting into a better spot? Yeah, you're nothing if you're under 720 because you're getting robbed. But did they buy a house first? Yes. And that's the thing that matters most. And I know even sometimes listings get hung up because they find out they can't get a bridge loan to get into their next loan. So I know it's not even just buyers necessarily, but as people are moving around, we get super creative. And I love nerding out on the credit stuff because it's the most fulfilling thing in the world to call someone and be like, hey, you don't need to sign up with us, but you do need to grab a pen and a piece of paper. I'm about to give you some really direct instructions. I'm going to email them too, but I want you to read them back to me because I'm that kind of teacher. Okay. The way the pricing works for our stuff, you guys, it's free referral service. You'll send the folks on over, we'll work, we'll get them back. The client pays the cost. It's a $99 startup, which is normally $199 to get going, but we cut $100 off of Becky's price because Patricia is a great referral partner and takes care of her people. And that's how I mean, it sounds a little bit better when it's not 7 o'clock, I'm a little tired. But we really hype up that discount because you all work in a very competitive industry. So anything we can do to help enamor the client to you is a big part of, hey, she got you this huge discount. It's amazing. After the $99 startup, 30 days later is when their monthly comes out and it's $129 a month. It's month to month. We don't believe in contracts. We don't believe in locking people in. And like I just said, if I can do it for free, I'll do it for free. But I'm not going to make them stay longer than they have to. I do preach with a passion though, and I've already kind of spoken on or touched on it a couple times. The importance of being a 720, the importance of having perfect finances, the importance of, like, most Americans can't afford a $500 emergency, when I think most of us were brought up, you're supposed to have 3 months of savings in the bank. The disparity between those two things, the idea of 3 months, no work in the bank, lock, stock, I'm good, versus a large swath of the population that can't afford a $350 must-have right now expense. When we're done with them, and even if I only get my hands on to help them on a phone call or whatever, we pride ourselves like on the free consultation. They'll always get a free soft pull, a free walkthrough of their report, some homework. Even if they're not signing up with us, you should do this and you shouldn't do that. So even the clients who don't sign up with us walk off in a better direction and more qualified or more informed borrowers to hopefully get into that position. So that is most. I'm right on 7 o'clock on the dot. It's like an Usher song. We do social media. We do Facebook Lives. We do co-branded marketing material. I mentioned I'm in OKC and Tulsa next month. And for the first time buyer events with the realtor group and lenders I'm doing, there's headshots and we send out all these flyers on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. Because as Candace was saying before everyone came in, a lot of people always, I need more buyers, I need more buyers, I need more buyers. I have a full marketing team and it's actually accessible in your portal where there's a marketing hub where you can download your own flyers. You can put your disclaimers on there, Best Choice Realty on there. You can put your picture. You can take our stuff, copy it, paste it, like the credit knowledge, and put it on your Facebook. Hey, Tuesday facts, and start using our stuff to generate some interest. Whatever you need from us within reason, we'll provide to help you all do your job to feed your families and help these families get into homes. So that's what we do in a quick 27 minutes and like 58 seconds. Why, thank you, Mary Ann.
People like it when we're prompt, especially those that involve finance. Anything finance related, got to be right on the money there, Brian.
I live by the numbers, ma'am. Live by the numbers.
That was great. That was great. Good information. Does anybody have any questions?
I might have missed it. I hope I didn't, Brian, but to activate, so let's say I have a client that walks in the office today. How do they get in touch with you?
I am going to email you and Candace, and you guys can get me the roster of everyone who needs to be built, and I'll have them all built in the morning. And then whether it's an email or through the portal, just sending them on over once they've given permission for the phone call.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
pretty
And
simple.
then
It's
any notes that y'all can add. And I love leads from realtors over LOs, not to just like butter y'all up, but you all like know your clients a lot better than the LOs sometimes do. LOs, it's like needs call. I'm like, what else you got for me? Okay. Like, I love it when it's like, just moved to the area, looking to buy, have never bought before, but really excited, has a baby due in June. My team will cook with that and like be excited for that process, you know? Sorry, I go on tangents.
I have
So
a
what-
question.
Go ahead, Patty.
Oh, okay. Hey, thanks for playing along with me on my little adventure of being creative. Sometimes you have to be in this business.
Yes, ma'am.
So, um, you basically lend on housing only, not on land or anything that is outside of the parameters of the standard lending process.
So I do not lend. I get your clients all where they need to be, so you can
Right.
send them to them. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, got it.
So
Thank
there's
you.
not a parameter on what type at this point, Patty. It's all about just their goals and their budgeting. And it's like putting, almost like I had Candace, bring Brian in, because like so many people don't understand with all these apps and technology and all of these things going on. It's like, you almost got to get back to the basics, which is like, let's just have a conversation and put them in touch with
His
trustworthy
hands.
people, right?
Yeah, put him in his
And then-
hands and he'll get them squared away for you.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got one from the chat. Jamie said, I have ran into several people who could benefit from your services. How do I get in touch after a call? I can make it easy for those who need it built immediately. It's brian.eck@uqual, because I can type.com. Shoot me an email. As I get in trouble for with the group downstairs underneath me, work late into the evening sometimes, so you might get an email a little bit later. Otherwise, if you email me at night, you'll certainly have it in the morning. And as I mentioned a moment ago, when calling your clients, do make sure to get permission. Nothing's worse than a cold call on their credit or their finances, because that's not nice. The other thing I would offer, and it's my pleasure to do so, and this one would either be myself or a gal named Sherry or one of my managers, any and everyone who's here who would like, and it's private, so it's not like if you want to take me up on this, I'm not going to call Candace or Rochelle or anything like that. I always offer free soft pulls to everyone, whether it's the LOs I meet or the realtors I meet. When I'm meeting new referral partners, like I'm analogy happy, as everyone's seen. I'm asking you to feed my food to your clients. If you want a taste, and the free soft pull is exactly that. It's a free soft pull. You get on the phone, you get to look at your credit report, you talk with us, you get to experience kind of the client interaction. And I always like to do that because the better understanding of, kind of like Patricia just, or excuse me, Michelle just said, all the different apps, once you see how ours is, it makes it a lot easier to, one, communicate to your clients, and two, if you're not, and I don't say it lightly, if you're not a 720, well, a conversation with me sometimes is all you need to help get a little bit closer to it.
Right.
Well, at least
And
you're
yes,
above 560.
Yeah.
well, that's more work, but I'm all about it. I promise you that. And it's, I don't even just say it to say it, but the way that you are either held down or propped up by credit in America. And it's not even like that all over the world. I grew up in Vienna. I've lived a couple different countries, Hungary and stuff like that. It's not quite the same overseas or like South America. We're unique like that, which is cool. And it's awesome. But it costs people, like even your auto insurance. A lot of people don't know your auto insurance is in part impacted by your credit scores. So when I talk to people like, oh, I live by cash. Well, you're a ghost, which means you pay more for State Farm than someone who has one revolving account and keeps that 10%, which is credit card with small usage. Like, there's no point in costing yourself money. I don't work extremely hard, travel away from my family, and do all these things just because I love what I do. I do, like, but I could do it here. I really love changing, and I started the whole call with it. The changing lives aspect of what we do, I take very passionately and seriously, and absolutely love it. So yes, whether you're a 560 or a 619 or a 719, if you want to take advantage of the free soft pull or talk about our services, throw that in the email when you reach out to me. And once again, it's always, private and confidential.
That's great. I really like what you're doing, Brian. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
I know
Yes,
I've worked with
thank
people
you.
from overseas. I was working with a family from Japan, and I've worked, well, that's just one example. but I have worked with people from overseas, and sometimes it gets a little tricky in terms of how to qualify them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
using alternative trade lines and things. But if there's no other questions, I have pushed my allowed to work late button as far as I can before I start getting nerfed by the family downstairs. You all, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you very
having
much,
me,
Brian.
and I'll be in touch with everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All
Thank
right.
you so much, Brian.
Thanks,
Of
Have a
Brian.
course.
good week.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Candace.
Thanks, everyone. Okay, guys, don't forget to get your Best Choice Idol tickets and have a wonderful evening.